we are going to deal some of the questions which is generally found by a student a troublesome question, means which gives some kind of mental agony, pain to a student, that how to solve and what are the process of solving that type of question. So that's why today's session is I have named troubleshoots questions. Means we are going to shoot all the troublesome questions, right? So now starting from the very first type, this type of question, I have selected one question here. The very first question goes like this: an object is moving in a circle of radius r. Now calculate the distance and displacement when it completes half the circle. Okay, so the main keywords are: a path is a circular path, radius is r, then we have to find out the distance value and the displacement value when body has a status that it completes only the half the circle on the circular path. Now, to express this question in a diagrammatic form, I have drawn a circle, and there will be some starting point on a circular path. Suppose I have taken A here. Now, half circle means on the circular path, it has to move through this circular part, and since it is only half the circle, so we must be reaching to point B. So starting from A point, A position, and reaching to position B. Now, after doing this kind of shifting, we have to determine the value of distance and the value of displacement. So now, according to our knowledge of displacement and distance, displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position of the object, and the distance is the actual path covered, measurement of actual path covered by the object. Now from here, if you see, the actual path is this, from A to B. Now mathematically, when it is reaching to A to B, then what do you call that? If they take whole, then it is circumference. But if it is traveling only half, that means it is a semicircumference. Okay, that is a semicircle. So if we measure this length, we will get the value of distance. And what is the value of whole circumference? 2 pi r. But since it is half only, so we will take pi r. So what is the value of distance here? Actual path covered by the object, that is equal to mathematically pi into r. Now time for displacement. Displacement means the shortest distance between initial and final position. So initial position is this, final position is this, intermediate path we don't have to take care. So we have to measure the gap between A to B. And if we understand mathematically, the gap between A to B is what? Is the diameter of the circle. So now, according to diameter, we can take this radius plus this radius, and finally what we'll get? The total length r plus r, that is 2r. So distance is pi r because it's moving on a circular path, semicircular path, and displacement 2r because the object is standing diametrically opposite to each other. So that will 2r. Okay. Moving to the next question. Now our next question is: a particle moves 3 meter north in north direction, then 4 meter towards east and 6 meters south, and then it stops its journey. Then we have to calculate the value of distance and displacement. Again, it's the situation of distance and displacement. So again, we have to map. We have to show it diagrammatically first so that we can have a better understanding of the situation. So what I have said, suppose I have taken this point as a starting point, as an origin. And according to the map work, we take on this wall north up, south down, east that side, west that side. So 3 meter north. So it has gone, suppose starting from origin O, now it is moving towards north, and how long it has travelled? 3 meter. Then from, suppose it has reached at A. Now from A it has to turn in which direction? 4 meter east. Now to get 4 meter east is this side. So now it is traveling a distance of 4 meter towards east. Suppose after traveling 4 meter it has reached point B here. Now from B it has to turn towards south. South means the wall downside. So now moving 6 meter down. It's written 6 meter south. So 6 meter here. Now after covering 3 meter it will be somewhere here because 3 is equal to 3 here. And 3 more is left now. So 3 will be travelled by this way. So this part is 3. This part is 3. So total is 6. Now after showing this situation on a diagram, we have to calculate the value of distance and displacement. Now for getting distance, we will measure the length of whole path. So whatever number of parts our total length has, total path has, we will just add it and we will get the total length of the whole path. So suppose the first part is OA part, then AB part and then BC part. So what will the value of distance? OA plus AB plus BC. OA is 3 meter, AB is 4 meter, BC is 6 meter. Now after adding these all parts of the whole path, we are going to get total length, that is 13 meter. So how much the body has travelled the distance, means how much it has travelled on the actual path, that is 13 meter. Now, what about displacement? Again, displacement doesn't have any, meaning with discussion about intermediate path. We are only interested in initial and final position. So if you see the diagram, initial was this point and finally the body has reached and stopped at C. So we are only interested in which part of the journey? Only the OC. Although it is not a part, but we are only interested with initial and the shortest distance between initial and final position. So where in the diagram, which part is showing the shortest distance between initial and final position? And that is OC. So if we get the length of OC, we are going to get the value of displacement of the object. Now, to get this value, we are going to take help of mathematics. If you see, this length is just acting like a hypotenuse in this right angle triangle. And in this right angle triangle, this part is 4 meter because this is 4, then obviously this part will be equivalent to 4. It is looking like a rectangular shape. And this is 3 meter because total was 6. This part is 3, so obviously this part is 3. So this 4, this 3. By taking this measurement and taking help of Pythagoras property, can we take out the value of this displacement? Because it is acting as a hypotenuse. Now to get the hypotenuse, what we do? We do square root of the squares of other two legs. So one leg is 4 meter, another leg is 3 meter. So we'll take the square. So 3 square plus 4 square. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So under root now it is 9 plus 16. That is under root 25. And we know the square root of 25 gives us the value of 5 meter. So finally, the object although travelled by this path, but it will be considered that only it has displaced by how much value? By value of OC, and that is equal to how much? 5 meter. So in this way, we can calculate in this type of question also where directions are. Okay. Our next question is based on average speed. Generally, there are 4 types of question based on average speed. Out of 4, we are going to select this question. Why I have selected this question? Because most of the time, when students solve this type of question, it's generally understood in a wrong way. And so thus, obviously, the answer comes wrong. So, what the wrong thing comes in our mind, that first we'll try to understand and then we'll go for the right solution of this question. This is the question which we have taken from NCERT. Question is, Abdul, while driving to school, computes the average speed for his trip to be 20 km per hour, and on his return trip along the same route, the average speed is 30 km per hour. Then what is the average of speed of the whole trip? So suppose a student is showing this, representing this situation diagrammatically, that A is suppose school, and then A is the house suppose, and B is the school. Then from house to school, the speed is taken 20 km per hour. This is the average speed. It can be non-uniform motion, uniform motion, but right now we are treating with a single speed. That means we are taking the uniform speed, 20 km per hour. And then while returning from school to home, he observed his average speed is 30 km per hour. Now, when it is asked the average speed for the whole trip, generally what a student thinks that, okay, take this as one value, this as another value. Suppose this is taken as initial speed, initial velocity, and this as the final velocity. And what do? We use this kind of formula, average speed is equal to v plus u by 2. That means one velocity, another velocity, and then average of that. This formula is only used for getting a value of average velocity when a body is doing uniform acceleration. But what we misunderstand? We misunderstand that this is a situation of uniform acceleration. In the question, nowhere it is mentioned that it is a situation of uniform acceleration. So how can we apply that? So if we follow this situation, then we are going to get 25 km per hour as the average speed, which is a totally wrong method to solve this question. This method, this idea, this concept is not at all applicable for this kind of situation. Then how do we do the right solution? First of all, what we have to find out? We have to find out the average speed of the whole trip. So for getting average speed of the whole trip, we have to manage the total distance of the whole trip as well as the total time of the whole trip, because average speed is the total distance upon total time of the whole journey. Now, since only the speed is mentioned in both the path, so first of all, we will imagine some distance between school to home. So suppose I have taken, let the distance between A to B, that means from home to school is x kilometer. Okay, there will be some gap. Now, we have to calculate the time also. So for getting time, suppose T1 I have given the name, while moving from A to B, from home to school I have taken time T1. Now since it is a situation of uniform motion, we are taking a single speed. So the formula is, as we know, time is equal to distance upon speed. So for distance we have taken x kilometer as we have assumed right now, and 20 is the speed. So what is the time taken while moving from A to B is x by 20 r. Similarly, while coming back from school to home, again we have to find out the time. So for getting time T2 while moving from B to A, again the formula will be of uniform motion, because again we are in this part we are taking a single speed. So for time, again distance by speed. So here again the distance will be same, because x kilometer only is the route, and upon 30 km per hour is the speed. So how much time is taken while coming back? That is x by 30 r. Fine. Okay. Now after getting time and after getting the distance, we are going to find out the value of average speed of the whole journey. Now for whole journey we will take total distance of the whole journey. So what will come? X by going, x by while coming. So x plus x is the total distance, that is 2x. What about time? So x by 20 hour while going and x by 30 hour while coming. So x by 20 plus x by 30. This is the time part. So now it's the time for mathematical calculation. So x plus x will give 2x, that is total distance 2x. And then while solving 20 and 30, the denominator will be 60 as per LCM rule. And then what we'll get in the numerator of this part? So 20, 60 comes 3 times, so 3x, 30, 60 comes 2 times, so this numerator will become 2x. So finally it has merged as 3x plus 2x by 60. Now, since it is the denominator of this whole fraction, so this is the numerator and this whole will be taken as denominator. But denominator itself is in the form of fraction. So according to again mathematical knowledge, 2x upon 5x by 60, that is the denominator. Now how do we solve this kind of situation? Then we take numerator in the fraction. This is already in the fraction, but numerator is not in the fraction. Now to make a fraction, what do we imagine? By 1 in the numerator. So now numerator is now looking like 2x by 1 upon 5x by 60. So numerator is 2x by 1, denominator is 5x by 60. Now whenever this situation comes fraction to fraction, how do we solve? So for here I have taken one example. Suppose a by b is the fraction and c by d is the fraction in denominator. Now fraction to fraction. So numerator upon denominator will be simplified by a by b, that is the numerator fraction, into reciprocal of denominator fraction. So since it is c by d, so reciprocal will be d by c. Similarly, here also I have taken 2x by 1, that is numerator fraction will remain same, but we will take the reciprocal of this denominator fraction, so into 60 by 5x. This is the reciprocal of that. Now while we solve it, x will get cancelled with x, 5 will cancel 60 by 12. Now finally what the calculation is 2 into 12, that is 24 km per hour. Is it coming 25 km per hour? No. So what is the right solution of this question? The average speed of the whole trip will be 24 km per hour, not this 25 km per hour. So this question will be treated in